Hello, everybody. As is our custom, and when I say we, I mean the corporate we like to start the show with something that will tickle your fancy. And if you don't have a fancy, we'll tickle something else. Oh, there I go flirting again.
Live from Los Angeles.
911, what is your emergency?
Here in Hollywood now.
2 counts of murder,
Injury and death.
Oh my God!
Shocking new details
That has stunned the entertainment world.
This makes me a little nervous.
The hair stood up on my arms.
Just like in the movies.
What do you call this thing anyway?
Death.
In
Entertainment.
Hello, 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 Deados.
Ho, 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 we are back.
Back with another In Memoriam.
Oh, God.
How was everyone's Christmas? I'm talking to the audience, by the way.
Yes.
Or
Christmas was great.
Hanukkah or
Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
I hope it was fun. Or what?
Or, I don't know.
You got more?
I got nothing else.
Are there other holidays?
I don't know.
Halloween, Thanksgiving.
I saw on the news one man was so upset about his wife not cooking dinner correctly that he attacked her with the Christmas tree.
Ooh.
So that happens out there.
Where?
Yeah.
I've never heard of a Christmas tree being used as a weapon.
Where was this?
In America somewhere. I'm
Okay.
guessing it's probably Florida or Wisconsin.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Or Weymouth,
That's why I was
Massachusetts.
asking.
Yeah, or Weymouth, Massachusetts.
Because it sounds familiar. I
funny,
know that person.
My grandmother said her father, who was a very bad drunk in Charlestown, Massachusetts,
Chucktown.
would come home and throw the Christmas tree out the window from the 3rd story, and that's just how things were back then.
Before Christmas?
Maybe a couple days before.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was on a bender.
Yeah, that happens in Massachusetts.
Oh yeah.
Family arguments, the tree goes out the window.
Especially with the holidays, people go out of their fucking minds.
Yeah.
You think you're better than me?
Yeah. I'll throw this fucking tree out the window.
The ornaments sucked anyway.
I'll show you.
Well, we hope you guys had a better holiday than those people.
Yes.
Hope you didn't get attacked by a Christmas tree. And if you listened last week, you already know that we're giving a toast to the people that left us this year, and that's a continuation.
Cheers.
This is a celebration of their life.
Yes.
Let's clink. Let's see if we can get it on
Okay.
Yeah.
the microphone.
Yeah, we
Okay,
can.
there we are. There we go.
Happy New Year. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
We've loved them. We've loved some.
What?
We've lost some.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
Kyle's losing it right
Yeah,
now.
it's a little too much eggnog.
Too much nog for the Plufinator over
Too much
here.
noggin the noggin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not enough noggin, too much eggnog.
Yeah. So we're starting off this episode with sports figures that have left us too soon.
Okay, I'll pop it off here with sports figures. The first one, Guy Lafleur.
Not Guy.
No,
not
it's
Guy.
Guy. It's French Canadian. It's
Yes.
like Montreal area.
Yes,
He's
I am.
pronounced Guy.
My name is Guy.
I am French Canadian, and I know how to hit the puck.
I will kill you with the puck, with the hockey puck. NHL legend. 5 Stanley Cups. That's a lot.
Whoa.
I think he played with the Oilers and the Canadians for a while.
The Canadians.
Canadians, yeah.
Yeah.
New York Rangers.
Okay, New York Rangers.
He is the all-time leading scorer in Canadians history.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's when they really played hockey. Like when they died at like 32 years old.
Yeah.
that was like, Paul Newman Slapshot era where like they were animals.
Not Slapshot 3
No,
Yeah.
with Ryan Grantham.
no,
Yeah.
definitely not that one. Or Slapshot 2
with Stephen Baldwin.
with Stephen Baldwin.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were real hockey players back then.
where they broke the teeth.
Yeah, they had no helmets and definitely no masks.
Yeah.
If you wore a
Really?
mask, you were a coward back then.
Really?
Oh yeah. You were a bitch.
Yeah.
Wow.
It sounds like in 2019, LaFleur began having health issues. He had open heart surgery with 5 bypasses.
Oof.
And he had a cancerous lobe removed from his left lung, an entire lobe. And then in 2020, his cancer was diagnosed in his right lung. So there was
been
a
a
lot
heavy
going
smoker
on.
or something.
Yeah.
You know, I'm aware that we don't get out of this thing alive.
Yeah.
This thing called life.
Sure.
But that's a bad way to go.
Doesn't seem good. Yeah.
No,
he's
it's
one
not
of those
great.
hard-living NHL guys of years past. Moving on, Dwayne Haskins, NFL quarterback with Ohio State.
He started
yes.
off at Ohio State.
Okay.
Moved to the NFL. Was with the Washington
Commanders.
whatever they're called now.
He got drafted by the Redskins. They turned to Commanders while he was there.
And they were the footballers for a time.
When?
The Washington footballers.
Oh, the Washington football team.
No, but they weren't they called the footballers?
No,
for
it was
a
the
minute?
Washington football team.
Or was that just me calling them that?
Yeah, it's just
Maybe
you.
Okay.
ESPN or you in your own head.
It was one of the worst decisions to be made, which is like, okay, we're going from an offensive name. We could easily make it non-offensive, but we're just going to go with the Washington football team for 1 year.
Well,
Didn't
it's
like it.
That's
to the
odd.
point.
Yeah.
To the point.
Dwayne Haskins, he was insanely talented, but he was also on the road to being like one of the biggest busts in the NFL. He got traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Steelers didn't have a quarterback. Right now, they were using Kenny Pickett, who's a rookie. They could have easily it should have been Dwayne Haskins this year, and that offense is a really talented offense, and he could have done a lot with it. But it was during the preseason. He was in Miami, drunk, possibly on drugs. His car broke down because it didn't have enough gas in it, which is like, bro, what are you doing? And as he was walking down the highway, he got clipped by a dump truck.
Wow.
And that's how he went. It's really brutal.
He must have been
dude.
like blacked out and like fucked up even before that.
Yeah, it was like 4 a.m, I
A
think.
dump truck, no less. That will
Yeah.
floor you.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so he was walking in the
Unreal.
breakdown lane, like right on the line, and then the side of a dump truck hit him.
Oh, it's like a Ray Broward type of situation. You got
Yeah.
grazed to that, but that's enough to kill you, unfortunately. So,
Yeah,
rest
but
it.
this is the same town that Dante Stallworth ran somebody over.
Really?
Yeah. Miami.
Don't
yeah.
walk in Miami, especially around the wee hours of the morning.
Exactly.
Kind of
That's one thing we've learned through this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, we covered that story, the Dante Stallworth.
We did in the Henry Ruggs episode.
Yeah, Die-Pod episode 13.
Yes.
Next one up here. This is a big one here, guys.
Yeah.
This is a very serious, big Boston grade. Bill Russell
Yeah.
died in 2022.
One of my ultimate heroes. I actually met him at the NBA All-Star Game 2015 in New York City.
The same night that Kyle Plouffe met Bill Clinton, folks.
Yes.
What?
I met Bill Russell, Rihanna.
You really are like Forrest Gump. Like we've talked about this before. You're like a guy behind the scenes of everywhere.
Bill Clinton.
It's nice to meet you, Bill Russell.
I'm Kyle
Christina
Plouffe.
Aguilera.
I'm from Weymouth, Massachusetts.
My name's Plouffe.
Who else did I meet that night? I met
You got any chocolate?
Was Christina Aguilera, was she dirty that night?
Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
I met
Now
Andre.
he's just naming.
No, Andre Iguodala. I'm a Celtics fan through and through. But I told
Are you?
Andre Iguodala that night, I go, dude, you guys are not being beat by anybody. You guys are going to win the championship. Not only did they win the championship, but he won Finals MVP that year.
Whoa.
Who wants to touch me?
So you're saying you did this?
I did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But when
And
I met
what did you do for Clinton?
Bill
Yeah.
Russell,
Jesus.
yeah,
You went downtown.
I'm not fat enough for Clinton.
Yeah. Whoa.
What is that in reference to?
Monica Lewinsky.
I know, but still.
Okay.
That's a little
Wow.
rough.
Kyle's unleashed here
Yeah.
in the end of the year.
Bill Russell I met, and it was one of the most disappointing experiences of my life.
Worse than Joe Rogan.
Yes, way worse. Well,
Wow.
they're probably on par with each other because I went up to Bill Russell as he's walking in. I'm welcoming him in.
Mm-hmm.
I also met George Mirasan and his son
No.
right before this. Yeah,
From
and
George,
they were
George
awesome.
and me?
Not George Mirasan from My Giant.
Yes.
Yeah, my giant. I said
Yes.
George and me. Like, what the fuck am I talking
Opposite Billy Crystal.
about? Oh, my
Yeah.
God. I feel bad for that man. They have to
Yeah.
deal with Billy Crystal for that long.
And you said he was kind of hunched over.
If people are wondering why I met all these people, I used to work talent transportation in New York City. And one of the events we worked was the NBA All-Star Game. So we got to meet everybody. This is where I met Paul McCartney the same day.
No. Wait,
Yes.
you've never said that
We said it on a
before.
podcast like 2 episodes ago. Yes.
You've only mentioned Clinton, ex-Tina, and Bill Russell.
Wait,
Nope.
did you tell Paul McCartney you should start a band with 3 of your friends?
Yes.
In 1962?
Yes.
Okay.
I have the sports almanac too.
You're bit.
Yeah, I am, dude. But when Bill Russell walks in, I'm like, oh my God, this is my moment. I go, Mr. Russell, I'm from Boston. I'm a huge fan. I love you. Thank you for everything you've done for our city. And he just goes, ugh, and just walked away from me.
Wow.
Well, you were coming on a little strong.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what? He's walking in
He
by
thought you were
himself.
about to proposition him or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll suck your dick.
Okay. Okay.
Bill Russell has 11 championships with Boston, which, if anyone's keeping count, that's one for every ring, one for every finger, and
Every
his dick.
ring.
In his day.
I'll suck that last one off your dick.
What ring are we talking about?
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. Ring around
Rest
the
in peace, though. He great basketball player. Didn't love me too much, but
Yeah. Well,
Who can blame him?
You can't win them all over, Kyle.
The Plouffe mojo only
Yeah.
goes so far.
yeah.
Some people can fight it off, you know?
Some people, it's like repellent.
Yeah. They have the antibodies to fight off the Plouffe virus.
Dr. Fauci worked on that
Yeah,
after
yeah.
the vaccine.
Yeah,
Hell
the
yeah.
CDC working on that. Everyone's just grunting and getting away from you. But it happened. What are you going to do?
What are you gonna do?
Rest in peace, Bill Russell.
I love Bill Russell.
Yeah, but it's not, it goes one way there.
It's very well.
Next up, this is actually one of our biggest fans, Sabrina, is a big fan of this person who passed away, Vince Scully.
Yes.
Sabrina Figueroa.
One of the best play-by-play announcers in sports history, next to Bob Uecker, I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah.
Sabrina is a great artist, and she did a great rendition of his likeness that's on our Instagram. So you
Yeah.
can check that out.
And she used the picture I took of his Hollywood star that was surrounded by candles and flowers and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, I've been to one Dodgers game, and I enjoyed
Really?
it. Yeah, I've only been to one. Yeah.
What?
We
I've
should
been
go to
to
one
a
one
few.
day.
I've been to a
let's do
million.
it.
Yeah.
I was there when the Red Sox beat the Dodgers in the World Series Game 5, 2018.
Yeah, I almost went to that. I told you.
I know. We
yeah,
texted and you're like, I
Uh,
can't make it.
I know. There was a situation.
Yeah.
But, what are you going to do?
What can you do?
Get them next time.
That's
Go to the
real
game.
question.
Yeah.
That's what you can do.
Yeah.
Should we hear a little bit of Vin,
Yeah.
Let's hear
Oh,
some
Vinny?
announcing. Yeah.
as I call him?
This crowd has hollered itself weak.
Did you say hollered itself weak?
Yeah.
Molitor at first, 1 out in the ninth, 6-5.
That's a poet right there. To come up with that off the top
Oh,
of his head. Hollered themselves weak.
There's an art to this. People don't
Who would
really
even
understand.
think to say that?
Ooh. It's in Toronto.
That must have been so exciting to call those home runs. Like the announcers when someone scores a goal in 3 hours in a soccer game, like goal. Like in baseball, someone gets a home run. That must be like
Yeah.
the best moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a million moments. He's one of the best.
One of the best. R.I.P.
Looked like he had a good time and had a good life, and rest in peace. Next category,
Yeah, we're on a whole new
whole new world.
platform.
Yeah, it's a big
now.
jump.
Yeah, it's a big jump here. We're moving
Yeah, it's a very big
from
jump.
sports figures, smooth transition right into musicians and rappers specifically. So, kicking it off with the rapper category is Coolio.
Coolio,
Yeah.
that's a big one for
He
our
had a
generation.
fantastic voyage.
Yes.
Fantastic
But he died
voyage.
of a heart attack in September.
And that was not Coolio.
Not Coolio at
No.
all. Yeah.
Hell
oh,
yeah.
now we're talking.
This is one of the best 90s
He's
rap
wearing a bowling
songs.
shirt there or something.
This song made him so famous.
Yeah.
And it's all, I mean, not all because, but it was,
I got chills listening to the song as a kid.
yeah, absolutely.
And the video had the clips from Dangerous Minds.
Yeah, Michelle
Exact-
Pfeiffer.
it was
no,
the-
it was a
it was the
bootleg
trailer
Michelle
song.
Pfeiffer in it.
No, it was Michelle Pfeiffer.
Was it?
Yeah, it was absolutely Michelle
That was
Pfeiffer.
David E. Kelly's wife. Michelle
Still
Pfeiffer.
is.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe I'm thinking of the Amish Paradise one.
Yeah,
Which
Weird Al
Coolio
Yankovic.
was not so Coolio with.
No, he wasn't. And he admitted he was wrong.
Yeah,
When
he did.
He said he felt disrespected by the parody.
And then Weird Al appeared on VH1 and was like, "Hey, Coolio, if you're listening, I didn't mean to offend you. Sorry."
Yeah, major part of our childhoods, and
Yeah.
Gone too soon at 59.
yeah, way too soon.
Yeah. Takeoff, the rapper, shot outside a bowling alley in Houston on my birthday, November 1st.
Oof.
Yeah.
There was a video that came out that actually you can't see the shooting, but you can hear it. It's like a big fight that happens, and then everyone runs. They just caught the people who did it,
Really?
or allegedly did it. Yeah, they were just arrested.
Wow.
And,
Aren't they claiming self-defense?
I mean, the defense probably is. You got to come up with anything if you're doing, defense work. But I don't think it was actual defense. I think it was very clear that everyone was just hanging out, talking, and then all of a sudden, gunshots rang out.
So he didn't do anything to provoke this.
They were arguing over like a dice game or something, and
What a dumb way to go out.
I
Like
know.
arguing over the dumbest games.
especially when you're a millionaire, it's like, what? Don't put yourself in those situations. Not to
No.
victim shame, but like, come on.
Yeah. Well, they feel like they need to be closer to the streets to kind of, to inspire their rap, maybe.
Yeah.
This was a big one. This actually went crazy on our TikTok here. The Aaron Carter
Oh, this
Yeah.
is huge.
death.
Yeah, it's a big one.
34 years old or years young, found in a bathtub, deceased.
I feel really bad for him. He, came out and said he was sexually assaulted by his brother, Nick Carter.
Oof.
And soon after Aaron died,
I hope that didn't happen.
Nick was charged with sexual assault.
Recently.
Yes, right after his death.
Isn't he
Of
still
sexual assault of a minor.
touring with the Backstreet
Yes.
Boys?
Boy or girl?
Yes, girl.
Oh,
Okay, so
Nick Carter's been charged with sexual assault multiple times.
really?
Yeah.
I know there was one like 2017-ish.
Yeah.
Did you already say this? Why they ABC chose not to air the Backstreet Boys Christmas special because of these allegations?
No, I didn't.
When?
I didn't
Yeah,
talk about
there
that.
was a special was gonna play a week ago, and
What?
they didn't air it because of the
Oh,
allegations.
'cause, yeah, Nick Carter just got charged
Yeah.
a few weeks ago.
yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
So Aaron Carter went through a hell of a lot in that household.
It's absolutely
like it.
possible. I mean, judging by the way his life turned out, I mean, whether or not he's telling the truth about Nick, it seems like he went through a lot to be able to get him to the place that he, ended up in.
And his younger sister died of a drug overdose as well.
Yes.
That whole family, where are they from? They from like Florida? They're Florida.
I think
makes
they
the most
are
sense.
Florida.
Really?
He did Dancing with the Stars, and it seemed like he was on some kind of track to transition from child star to a later career.
Yeah.
And he was
Just
on
didn't work
Broadway
out.
for a bit. Yeah, and it just didn't work out. He wrote a book that wasn't published.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he was found in a bathtub.
A la Whitney Houston.
Very sad. A couple of country classics passed away. This was a big one. Big show business family. Naomi Judd died in April of 2022. She's part of the Judds. Obviously, she shot herself.
Yeah, the mom of Ashley Judd.
Ashley
and
Judd, yeah.
Winona
That's true,
Judd.
too?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, so as the Judds were prominent country stars,
Yeah.
that Ashley Judd came to fame in the 90s.
As a big actress.
Yeah, as an
Yeah.
actress, as her sisters were already country stars.
She was great in Heat. That was
Mhm.
her best role, I think.
And Bug.
And Bug, yeah, a little later on. Ruby in Paradise was her breakout, though.
So she shot herself at 76
I
years
think
old?
she was like a manic depressive for years and years and years,
Mm-hmm.
and she finally just kind of got it. She got around to it at 76. I'm surprised she's actually able to pull the trigger.
She was on Lithium,
Yeah.
a bunch of things.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And
brutal.
her daughters tweeted, "Today we sisters experienced a tragedy. We lost our beautiful mother to the disease of mental illness."
Yeah.
Well put, because it is mental illness.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem in this country, in my
Oh,
opinion.
100%.
Yeah.
And we're not dealing with it properly.
Yeah, there's no structure to take care of
There's
stuff like
still a stigma with it,
that. Yeah.
and there shouldn't be.
No, but there's also no, we have privatized healthcare.
Yeah,
and
no
stuff.
good
You're like,
healthcare system
yeah,
either.
Yeah, I'd go to a shrink if
That
I
might
had
help.
$3,000 on me.
Yeah,
We should all be able to talk to somebody if we want to.
Yeah.
And yet when you try to, it's like, oh, I can't afford it.
Yeah.
That is awful.
Yeah.
Well, she left behind, a lot of good songs.
Yeah. And good people.
And good people.
And good people.
Ashley Judd, great actress. Jody Miller, 80 years old, 80 years young, some might say, a country singer. I've never heard of this person, but they died in October.
Not the beloved comedian in LA that I love, Jody Miller.
Who's that? I don't even know who that is.
Oh my God, she's the best. She was
Really?
she was my boss on a TV show I wrote for, and yeah, she's awesome.
We don't want to go to people who think she
TV
died.
show.
Yeah.
The Byron Allen one?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Shout out to that Jody
But
Miller.
she didn't die.
She's not the
Yeah.
dead one.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Someone could get confused here.
Yeah, she's incredible. I love Jody Miller so much.
Yeah.
She had a couple of albums called Home of the Brave and Queen of the House. And she's a Grammy Award winner.
Multi-hyphenate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this was a big one. Loretta Lynn. Legend.
Legend. Coal miner's daughter.
Yeah. She was like the biggest country star that died this year for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jack White had a lot of great collaborations with her in her later years.
Oh, really?
They released the album together called Van Leer Rose.
Yeah.
And it's
Wow.
excellent.
Jack White's an understated person you don't hear enough about. He is a music legend in his own right. He kind of created the musical sound in America in the 2000s.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
In the late 90s, yeah.
And the movie Coal Miner's Daughter, Sissy Spacek won the Oscar for playing Loretta Lynn.
Yeah.
Because she really came from the country. She was not an entertainment person.
Yeah,
and it
you
was
don't
just-
see people making it like that from like the deep, deep country.
Yeah,
anymore.
exactly.
Yeah.
Even deeper than Dolly Parton's country.
If they do, they're like, they're canceled 2 weeks in because they say the most insane thing.
Right. Yeah, she came from Kentucky.
Yeah, it's really south there.
Kentucky.
R.I.P. Loretta Lynn.
So that brings us into pop icons.
Okay.
First one of the pop icons here is Irene Cara, who died in November at 63 years old, young, from fame in Flashdance. Was she a director, writer, actor in it?
A singer.
This is her.
Yeah.
Wow.
Songwriter.
So that wasn't Jennifer Beals singing the songs.
No. Wasn't her body either.
Really?
There was a body
double? A lot of body doubling in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Julia
this is-
Roberts had a bunch of body.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Woo! Dun, dun, dun. And she shared the Academy Award. It won for Best Original Song.
Oh, wow.
Flashdance What a Feeling.
Wow.
And won the Grammy.
Wow.
And then Fame, of course.
Super talent. Yeah. Next one up here, Betty Davis. Not the Betty Davis we're thinking about. This is a funk diva who died in February.
Yes.
Yeah, very influential. A bit avant-garde.
Really?
Yeah, and she had sexual innuendos in
Okay.
her lyrics.
I'll take your word for it.
And she was the second wife of Miles Davis.
What? That's a legend. Yeah, I saw his documentary recently, Miles Davis. Interesting guy.
Well,
There's a lot going on.
there is a lot
going on there with Miles Davis, yeah.
He was also married to Cicely Tyson,
Yep.
who was on our list last year.
Yes. This was a big one for me. Olivia Newton-John.
It is, yeah.
Died at 73 years old from Grease and Xanadu. Xanadu is a crazy movie.
It is.
It's completely insane.
It is.
I don't even know it's like a weird like acid DMT trip.
Yeah, Xanadu has a lot of like special effects, like shooting lights from the
It looks
fingers.
awful,
and,
yeah.
And Grease, of course, has John Travolta. And
yeah, that much more accessible movie, I would say.
one of the biggest musicals of all time.
Yeah.
It's the.
It's got Broadway
Yeah.
shows, and I'm sure Travolta doesn't see that money. That's why he's doing Fanatic, probably.
And Olivia Newton-John went on to have a very successful solo career after Grease.
Yeah.
With Let's Get Physical, one of the staples of early MTV.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Okay. I think I remember that.
And they did like a parody on it on Saved by the Bell.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Elizabeth
yeah.
Berkley?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a whole thing.
Pre-Showgirls.
Yeah.
And,
Kelly Kapowski, too.
there's an Apple TV series based off the song "Physical"
Ooh.
with Alison Brie.
Hey.
So
And Olivia Newton-John fought cancer for many years.
did she?
Oh,
so
yeah.
it kept coming back.
Yeah.
And her husband pretended to kill himself.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, you hear
She
about
had
that?
a lot of intrigue in her marriage.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
he pretended?
Yeah.
He was deep in debt, and then he went to Mexico and pretended to kill himself, and then he was just been on the run ever since.
Is he still alive?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
It's
funny.
a
He
wild
outlived her.
story. Yeah.
Pretending to die.
Jesus.
Life isn't fair.
Yeah,
It's really not.
No.
Yeah. It's
And
like
then, of course, Olivia Newton-John was the catalyst for the Beaver trilogy, but I'll get into that another time.
my God.
Yeah.
That's a whole
Because
fucking.
the guy in the Beaver trilogy had his character Olivia Newton-Don.
Yeah.
Oh, we've talked about that on another podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a crazy, crazy guy who was very entertaining. That just you gotta just look at the Beaver trilogies. It's all on YouTube.
It's a masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece.
And it also exemplifies
yeah,
her place in pop culture.
yeah,
She was that huge. It's hard to imagine now, but Olivia Newton-John in the 70s and 80s, there's nobody that comes close right now.
she was huge.
Yeah.
To bring it back to something we talked about.
Okay.
Sean Penn played Olivia Newton-John in
Yes.
his own rendition in the Beaver trilogies. So
Right.
just as well as Crispin Glover, of course.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
so you got to check that out. Moving on to jazz and blues section here.
Okay.
We got Mr. Ramsey Lewis, who died in September at 87 years young. He was a jazz pianist.
Can you bring up the in crowd, Kyle? Oh, yeah. You feeling it?
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. Light up your cigarette.
Yeah.
Pour another drink.
Yeah, this seems like a commercial has been used over and over. Lincoln Continental. Yeah. Next category we have here, cinematic sounds or twin blades here.
Twin blades.
That's right. That's in parentheses there.
That'll make sense after we talk about this category.
Another Twin Peaks.
This one is a legend right here. This is one of the best TV theme song composers ever. Angelo Badalamenti.
Also, movie scores.
Movie scores also, yeah. So he died in just a couple days ago. He died in December at 85 years old. He composed Twin Peaks and Blue Velvet, as well as probably more David Lynch stuff also.
Yeah. I mean, he did a lot of movies. The Wicker Man, A Very Long Engagement, City of Lost Children, Autofocus.
Did he?
Yeah, the Bob Crane movie, the
Ooh.
Paul Schrader Bob Crane movie.
To call
Yes.
it back.
Yeah.
In 2008, he won the Lifetime Achievement Award at the World Soundtrack Awards. So he's been celebrated for a long time. He also did the
Absolutely.
1992 Summer Olympics theme song in Barcelona. Barcelona.
That's the Dan and Dave campaign, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. This
Yeah,
guy,
that guy was great.
a lot of talent.
A lot of talent.
And he's connected to the next person, too.
The next person is Julie Cruz, who died at 65 years old. The singer from the Twin Peaks song.
Ooh.
Yeah, she was another big David Lynch collaborator. And in this clip, you can hear Angelo and Julie together.
This is the best stuff.
On VH1 Classic.
Haunting, dreamy. Melancholic. What an aesthetic.
It's so unique. It's hasn't been matched since. I still can't believe they played this show on ABC primetime.
Yeah, for real.
Look at ABC now.
And it was a big hit the first season, Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Like
was
big numbers.
Like everyone wanted to know what was happening.
Yeah, who
with it.
killed Laura Palmer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard even like Boris Yeltsin was like into it and stuff. Like people like international
Boris
leaders,
Yeltsin.
like international leaders were
I
into it.
want to know.
Who killed Laura Palmer?
Big year for Twin Peaks.
Yeah,
Because we lost two Twin Peaks actors who we talked about last week.
yeah, absolutely.
And now 2 composers and musicians on the actual show.
They're all wiped out. All the
Yeah,
background
that
crew.
is eerie that they would die in the same year.
Yeah.
Shit. Another composer. This is just a one-name person like Madonna would be. It's called Vangelis,
Yes.
who was a composer from Blade Runner and Chariots of Fire, which are 2 great movies, 2 great soundtracks.
That
Chariots
says-
of Fire from like Charlton Heston?
No, this is the English film about running.
Oh.
You're thinking of the biblical movie.
Yeah, I'm thinking of
No.
Charlton Heston while he's
No.
in the chariot.
No. Bring up the
just because
score,
he's in
though.
a chariot.
Yes.
You'll know it. It's one of the most iconic scores of
Yeah.
all time.
Dun,
I
dun,
would
dun,
think.
dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun,
And I must say, Blade
dun.
Runner, amazing.
Yeah, I can't think of it, but yeah, it was
It's like sci-fi. Techno
mixed
pop.
with the Harrison Ford voiceover.
Oh,
like,
this song.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is Vangelis.
This is iconic.
Yes.
they used it also in Vacation when they go to Wally World.
Yes.
When they're running to the park from the car. Yeah.
Yep.
This is Vangelis.
That's Vangelis.
Vangelis, baby.
And he did Blade Runner. That's enough.
Yeah.
You can stop there.
I know.
Yeah.
I wonder, like, if you make something that great, if you get paid like a lot more as a composer. like
I just heard you score for Chariots. We're gonna double your pay.
I know, but like, well, they have points maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah,
They-
you would hope so, but
you'd hope so, but
What
no.
a career!
it doesn't happen.
Yeah,
You
it's,
know,
it's an evil business here.
There's geniuses, the best of what they do.
And
That's
then there's
Angelo
not geniuses.
Badalamenti. That's Vangelis.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Speaking of geniuses, we're moving on to next category here, rock royalty.
We got to sell that a little better than that.
Next one up here,
Rock royalty.
rock royalty. Ooh, wah! I can't even do that anymore. That like gives me, it like ruins my throat when I try to do that. First one up here, huge legend, Jerry Lee Lewis, very controversial. Jerry Lee Lewis, Great Balls of Fire, you know,
Whole lot of shaking.
whole
going
lot of
on.
shaking going on. Played by Dennis Quaid in the movie Great Balls of Fire.
And Winona Ryder played his cousin.
Cousin who was 13 years old. And this is, I don't want to give anything away, but this is a future episode, by the way, because there were some former wives of his that may have passed away before they should have.
As in, he murdered them.
I don't want to.
Hello.
I don't want to say too much here, but one of our listeners out there, Katie, was educating me on this recently. So I want to save that, put a pin in it, and we'll come back to it.
Goodness gracious,
I-
my wives were murdered.
Great balls, wife dead.
He was nicknamed the Killer.
I know.
Wow.
And I think that's maybe subconscious, like a morbid kind of joke in the industry, maybe.
Yeah.
Meatloaf.
Like a bat out of hell.
I would do anything.
He
for
died
love.
in January at 74 years old.
But I won't do that.
but I won't live anymore.
Oh God,
He
of COVID.
he died of COVID.
that sucks.
Yeah. But
What
I'm
a
sure
career.
I'm sure he had some other ailments and stuff that kind of contributed.
I mean, you got Rocky Horror Picture Show. You got Fight Club.
I was gonna say, other than Rocky Horror Picture Show, was he in a movie that was as big? Because Fight Club was huge.
He was in movie. Yeah, he was.
He was
quite
in
a few.
Black
Between those
Black
two.
Dog with Patrick Swayze.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, stuff that down your pipe and smoke it.
Hey,
They don't just throw anybody in Patrick Swayze movies.
that's
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, no, I just remember seeing him for the first time in Fight Club, and people were like, "That's Meatloaf," and I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Yeah.
It blew my mind. And
We
then
had large breasts.
yeah, he had bitch tits.
Yeah.
Bob had bitch tits.
That's
Yeah.
from the book and the movie.
Yeah.
Christine McVeigh from Fleetwood Mac, I'm a big fan of. She died at 79 years old.
Is it
and-
McVie or McVeigh?
McVie? You're right.
Yeah,
Sorry,
McVie.
McVeigh. You don't want.
I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, hey, is she from
Tarnishing
Oklahoma?
Her good name
Yeah.
here.
Yikes.
We have-
Crash.
Yeah, exactly. We have Christine Manson next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
McVie. Sorry, I apologize for that. Christine,
Yeah.
rest in peace. But
Keyboardist for Fleetwood Mac. and
keyboardist. Yeah.
she sang on the song Everywhere. Can we hear a second of that? It's such a beautiful song.
Yes.
Can you hear me calling out your name? You know
Doesn't get better than this.
Yeah. And Lindsey Buckingham putting a great track behind it.
Yeah.
And that weird guy that played drums.
Mick Fleetwood?
Yeah.
Yeah. They were all on a lot of cocaine.
Yeah, well, Susie Nix blew her fucking nose out from doing so much
Stevie
cocaine.
Nicks.
Stevie.
Nicks.
Susie Nix.
Susie, what's her name?
Oh, that was a girl from Framingham, I knew.
Yeah, this is a great one.
Taylor Hawkins.
50 years old.
Yeah, 50 years old. But
Yeah.
like people on our YouTube are saying, like comments are saying, he didn't die of a drug overdose. People seem to think they know what happened. We don't know what
So
happened
what
either, I guess.
did he die of then if it wasn't a drug overdose?
I don't know. They're saying the same things of like, Fauci, had him taken out.
he got the COVID-19 vaccine, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Him
he
and
was found
Chester
with-
were working on the documentary about child trafficking.
with Anne
document,
Heche.
yeah.
He was found with multiple drugs in his system. They said his heart was enlarged.
Okay.
Really? Okay.
Which it actually was. It was like 2 pounds heavier than it should have been, which was like crazy.
2 pounds.
Yeah, they were saying it was like way bigger than it should have been.
Wow.
But
Like the Grinch.
yeah,
At
his
the
heart
end
grew
of the-
3 sizes
yeah,
that
at the
day.
end of the story.
He got the COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Fauci body count is rising.
yeah, they're trying to say that his heart got bigger because of the COVID vaccine, which is bullshit. He had 10,
Is it bullshit though?
He had 10 drugs in his system. I mean, let's be real. He's had overdoses before.
But it didn't help.
He was
hasn't-
insanely talented man.
Alejandro's playing devil's advocate. here.
Yeah, I think, he's leaving room for reasonable doubt, the
Yeah.
prosecutor.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
You got to do that, but at the same time, let's be real. It's probably column A, column B. His heart was a little bit enlarged. He was also on drugs that you shouldn't be mixing,
Like what?
opiates, cocaine. Yeah, a lot of different things. But,
And were they all aware of his drug use? Like Dave Grohl
Oh yeah, he's had overdoses before.
Yeah, he's been to treatment
and
stuff,
lots of
yeah.
interventions.
Been to treatment multiple times.
I wonder if he had the Benadryl in his system. Remember the Benadryl? Yeah, that was
Possibly.
Yeah. I want to play a little clip of his son playing drums on his song at his memorial.
And that's the son on the drums.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just a teenager.
What's going through his head right there?
Just absolute nothing. This is the part where it really gets crazy.
Wow, he's good.
He's so good. His dad's been teaching him how to play drums for years. Young teen also. This is right after his dad died.
Yeah. I can't imagine.
And so now he's playing the song about his dad.
Oh my God. You can feel that electric current.
Yeah, this is just so crazy.
Yeah.
So good.
Great footage of that concert too.
Yeah.
People are loving it.
Oh, but look at that person in the front
Yeah,
row.
that guy's
He was
having a
about
heart
to
attack.
spontaneously combust.
It's on Paramount Plus as a
Pat
special.
Smear?
Yeah, Pat Smear's there, who Courtney Love does not appreciate very much.
Really? She hates his guts.
Oh,
now.
yeah. She said he was an alcoholic, and that's why he wasn't invited to Kurt Cobain's thing.
That could have been true too.
Intervention, yeah. Yeah, but Taylor Hawkins, fuck, man. I saw his last concert with the Foo Fighters in L.A. before he died.
You did?
Yes, it was my birthday week.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
When?
August of 2021.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right in the pandemic, though.
Yeah, at the end of it.
Wow.
What are you saying, Mark?
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying anything.
Are you
I'm not
judging
trying
Kyle?
No, not at all. Well, that was the perfect ending for the rock royalty category, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yes.
what you guys think, but I think that was
I
pretty
think
solid.
the same.
Yeah. We're moving right into the comedians here.
The
I'll-
final category.
The final category. A lot of comedians died this year, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just start right from the top. This was a big one. Gallagher died in November.
Gallagher won.
Gallagher won, not the brother.
The brother's
Yeah.
still around.
The brother's still around. There was a big court case where Gallagher and his brother had a lawsuit because his brother tried to steal his act of doing what?
Smashing watermelons.
Smashing watermelons. Yeah, pretty much that's it. And I think the judge ruled in Gallagher one's favor. I think.
Well, yeah, you can't just call yourself.
Y'all want to smash some fruit?
Yeah,
Gallagher,
you can't. I couldn't just call myself Carrot Top and like get really ripped and like start doing his sight gags or whatever he does.
Gallagher.
You could be Carrot Bottom though.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Gallagher, who had a heart attack on stage.
Doing the he was doing the Star Spangled Banner and smashing fruit. And
What
then had
year
a
was
heart
that?
attack. This was probably 2010.
Damn.
That sounds
Ish.
about right.
Yeah.
And that was before the fight with Mark Maron?
Around the same time.
Okay.
Around because he walked
I think
out.
that was
on
probably 2008, 2009 he did that. And then 2010, 2011 he had that heart
There's
attack
a
on
famous
stage, yeah.
interview where I think they're at the Montreal Comedy Festival, and during the beginnings of Mark Maron's WTF podcast, he interviews Gallagher. Gallagher goes completely insane and storms out of the interview.
Yeah.
And Mark Maron's like, Gallagher is leaving the interview. Gallagher is leaving the interview.
Gallagher has left the building.
Gallagher has walked out of the hotel room door. He's like giving the play-by-play.
He was very serious about his process.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's not even like, I think Mark Maron said, like, you tell street jokes. You're not really a
Right.
comedian.
And it started out as a parody of infomercials, the Sledge-O-Matic, a satire.
Wow, okay. So
And he had a bunch of Showtime specials, almost as many as Carlin had on HBO.
Wow.
I'd watch those, and I'd watch them on Comedy Central and be like, this is real comedy. Like when I was a kid, I was like, I didn't know
3
shit.
years old. You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Ha."
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the type of audience that are into that stuff.
Yeah, Gallagher's was shown on Comedy Central so much in the late 90s, early 2000s.
I think he thought
reminding you.
he thought he was Carlin level. I think he thought
He
that.
did.
He
In
did.
all his later interviews, he claimed that he had the key to comedy.
Yes.
He was better than everybody else.
And no, he never showed it to anyone.
Well, maybe now it's unlocked in
Yeah.
heaven.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Gallagher. Okay, next one coming up is a legendary comedy owner and I think manager, maybe. Bud Friedman died at 90 years old, the founder of the Improv, which is,
On Melrose.
doesn't get much bigger than that as far as like someone who like started young acts out.
Yeah, the
That would
80s and
become
90s.
legends.
Dangerfields and the Improv, I think, were very key in breaking a lot of comedians.
Like the 60s or 70s, or what are we talking
No,
about?
I'm talking 80s, 90s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Dangerfields broke Andrew Dice Clay and Sam Kinison and all these people. And then they had Evening at the Improv over here. Adam Sandler was on it. A whole bunch of people.
Bud Friedman, put me on the stage.
They
Before
say
he was on
launched
SNL.
Dangerfield, Bud Friedman.
Wow.
I believe that.
And
too.
Freddie Prince.
I would believe that too.
Andy
yeah.
Kaufman. Jay Leno.
Hey, Mavis, I'm going up to the new club. If you go to the Improv. Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, you see this guy over here? His name is Bud.
Hey, how about that? You know about that?
He's going to help me launch.
I'm gonna smoke him.
Isn't that funny?
I'm going to wear a jean shirt and go up on stage. I'm going to wear a jean tuxedo. Yeah. I'm going to bring my new car. I got to get 50 of them.
Hey, Mavis. Hey, Mavis, my face is on fire.
Hey, put it on my face, please. There's a lot of face to get on fire. So yeah, Bud Friedman, legendary. I heard he got in a bad divorce with his wife that brought him out here because there was an Improv in Manhattan, obviously, but
Yes.
long closed.
Yeah. And there was a guy that tried to take it over.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just couldn't figure it out.
It lasted for like a few months after he left New York.
Yeah.
Served in the Korean War, too.
Jeez.
Purple Heart.
Yeah.
Wow.
This man's a hero.
On which side? Also, Larry Storch died, 99 years old.
Oh, I know this
99
face.
years
I would
young.
not know the name. I definitely know his face.
The Tennessee Tuxedo? What do you? I never heard of
Tennessee
this.
Tuxedo.
Never heard
The
of this guy.
Penguin.
animated series.
Danny DeVito?
Saturday mornings in the 1960s.
Yes.
Okay. PJ O'Rourke died, a political satirist.
Satirist.
I think he
Diminutive.
Diminutive. Yeah, it's one of those. This is the guy he worked for the Lampoon.
Oh.
And he wrote for Rolling Stone.
Rolling Stone, yeah.
A bunch of publications, and he would appear on things like Real Time with Bill Maher.
He would, yeah. New rule. PJ O'Rourke is here.
Rule.
Yeah.
Don't die.
Don't die anymore. Okay, PJ. But this guy, he was right wing.
He was.
But he thought it was funny to be right wing. I don't.
Yeah, he had a
whatever he had. It wore out in the 2000s.
He had a weird affect.
Yeah, I guess he was going to liberals, and Bill likes that. I don't know.
Gonzo journalism.
Yes,
that's what he was aspiring. He was trying to copy Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah, and doing a bad job.
But
rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Either way,
he had a very good career.
Yeah, he did. Leslie Jordan, that was a big one we posted about on our Instagram.
Yeah.
This is a sad one, man.
Very sad.
People loved this guy. He was a beloved social media star.
From Will and Grace and, beloved social media star.
Yeah. He was great. I followed him. He would always just go live and just talk to people and be like, shit, what y'all doing?
Yeah, very Southern.
In the pandemic, he really came to
the
fame, the social media fame.
Yeah. He apparently had like a cardiac event while he was driving and drove into a restaurant or like store shop. And that did it.
That's one way to go. Yeah.
Brutal.
The store shop did it.
Really funny guy, and he will be missed.
Worked with multiple people I know, and they said he was a fucking gentleman, a scholar, and an absolute sweetheart.
Absolute sweetheart.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. You know who was also a sweetheart? Teddy Ray.
He was a teddy bear.
32-year-old comedian drowned in a pool.
Brutal, man.
I didn't even know about this person.
Yeah, it was a very sudden thing. Drowning in a pool. Like,
yeah, that's
Jesus
like the
Christ.
stairs thing.
Yeah,
or
man.
like Brian Jones kind of too.
Yeah.
Having a couple of drinks, getting in a pool, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Next one up here. I knew this fellow, great comedian, very good guy. I remember hanging out with him. Jack Knight died at the tender age of 28 years old. Writer and voice actor on Big Mouth. He was a creator and writer of Bust Down. He died by suicide in Hollywood, I believe, in July.
Nice guy, funny guy. I did shows with him in New York too, and I did not see this coming.
Yeah, I produced a show. Some people don't know this. I used to produce shows in Echo Park, so I was like an alt comic in a past life.
Some people don't know this.
Some people don't know this.
Most people don't know this.
Yeah, no one knows this. I messaged him out of the blue on Facebook. I was like, hey, you want to come do our show? And we did like a big show there with like a bunch of other comics. And he's like, and at that time, he's already like on TV and stuff. And he's like, yeah, sure, I'll come down and do it. And knowing that it's for nothing, for no money. And we just had like a house party / stand-up show in a backyard.
That's awesome.
And he came down and did it. Super nice guy. And he was hilarious, obviously. And it was super fun. And yeah, sad to see this guy go. Next comedian up, Nick Nemeroff. I didn't know this guy, but I heard some people post about him. He's 32-year-old comic in Brooklyn or one of those New York. He's kind of like a New York alt comic. Yeah, I think he had a book, or it was just a special. Pursuit of Comedy Has Ruined My Life, which seems like a very ominous title.
Yeah. He died suddenly.
Yeah, that's another one which has created a lot of internet fervor, I would say, about the pandemic, the vaccine, and all that stuff. No one knows really why he died.
Died in his sleep. One of several on our list that have died in
I
his
also had a friend around the same age, within a year ago or a year and a half ago, who passed away. No one really knows the exact circumstances of what killed him, but like it's up. No one knows what happened.
Yeah.
Still, no one knows.
Yeah. So, it happens.
It does. I have this site open now. Did Nick Nemeroff die from COVID-19 vaccines?
Yeah.
Sudden adult death syndrome.
Yeah. It's like SIDS, but not for babies.
SADS.
Yeah, SADS.
Yeah.
It is SADS. Speaking of SADS, Oh, actually, I want to mention that he's Canadian also. He was a Canadian
Ah.
implant that lived in New York.
Okay.
Next one up here, Amazing Jonathan, which, this guy was like a legend. I remember, speaking of Comedy Central, he was all over. The Amazing Jonathan was all over
I
Comedy
loved
Central.
him as a kid in the 90s. His specials were hilarious. Like when I saw him on TV,
Yeah.
I ran to watch. I thought he was that funny.
Yeah.
Because
He
it
was
was
amazing.
He always
kind
had
of
the,
like
he had the headband on always.
yeah, he was like a cooler Penn and Teller.
He would cut his hands off, or like things would go wrong to be blood spewing
Yep.
everywhere. He was kind of like a moron. He would like make things happen. He would just fuck everything up a lot of the time, and he would like kill his his assistant half the time too. Like cut her in half and be like, I don't know how to put you back together.
A parody of magicians. and someone's
Exactly.
Yet
Yeah.
a skilled magician. at
Yes,
that.
but also like gory. Like it was awesome.
It was awesome.
I knew about him through Comedy Central, late '90s, early 2000s. It wasn't until I started comedy in Boston that people started talking about. He was from Boston. That's where he started.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he got his start with everyone we know back home. It's
Oh,
so
really?
crazy. Yeah. And
Like
everyone
your
always
Steve
loved him.
Sweeties and your Lenny Clarks and your
Yes. But in like 2006, 2007, I was hearing rumors of him faking diseases.
Really?
Yes. And
well,
then
he did a documentary about him like having a bad disease.
like 2 years ago.
yeah.
The Amazing Jonathan documentary.
I had
Yes.
been hearing whispers about that since I started comedy in 2006.
There are comedians who have done that in the past who have said they had cancer or other things. Some people have gotten
Yep.
specials off of it, and that's
And they're still alive.
That's a whole other thing. But
Yes.
yeah.
Wait, who?
I'll tell you off the mic.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's very easily looked up, but yes.
But Amazing Jonathan did die this year.
he did.
He did, yeah. Or what if this is one of his bits?
He told
Could
Mark
be his
Maron
final bit.
on his WTF about a decade ago that he had a bad heart
Yeah.
and that he could go at any minute. And Mark Maron is like, what?
Yeah.
Really? Like you only have like months to live?
And
He's
like, what are you
yeah,
doing
it
here?
Could be.
What
yeah,
are you doing
exactly.
here? Yeah.
And that
What
was
are you
after
doing talking to me.
the Gallagher thing.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that went on for years where he was talking about this bad heart. And then there's this Amazing Jonathan documentary, 2019. And the director inserted himself into the documentary because he said Amazing Jonathan told him, oh, by the way, I'm filming my own documentary too. So don't mind this other crew.
Yeah.
And it became this crazy meta thing.
That's
yeah.
funny.
It was a very weird
That's pretty funny.
aesthetic.
Yeah,
If-
it
if-
was.
if it makes sense and you can get away with it, that's funny.
He basically was posing the question, is this illness real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is anything real with Amazing Jonathan? But as we can see this year, there was truth to it because he did die.
Yeah.
I guess so. I guess the naysayers were wrong. Judy Tenuta from the Love Goddess. I don't know who this
No,
person is.
that was her nickname.
Oh, okay. She
The
was
Love
the Love
Goddess.
Goddess.
You've never heard of Judy Tenuta?
No.
You've never heard Judy Tenuta?
That's crazy, Mark.
That is crazy.
Really? I don't know if you're being serious now.
No, I'm
I'm being
completely
serious.
Kyle will be like, Godfather 2, I've never heard of it.
No, I'm
No,
serious.
I am too, actually, because she's in, I dare I say, icon of
Oh, okay.
comedy in the 90s,
yeah.
late 80s.
She died in Studio City right down the street here.
She did.
She did.
Yep.
Yeah, she had an accordion on stage.
Oh, gotcha.
And
yeah.
she'd be like, "Hey boys, Hong Kong!"
I think
like that's
I
how she
kind of
talked.
remember her now.
A lot of
yeah.
one-liners. I actually saw her live and met her at the Lakeshore Theater in Chicago
Wow.
in 2009.
Crazy.
And there was one heckler that said, like, "Hey, do something funny." And after the show, when I met her, she couldn't get that heckler out of her mind because I was like,
Oh, no.
that was hilarious, great show." And she was like, "There was that one guy they yelled out though," and I was like, "Oh, that was so stupid."
But that's
and,
what stand-up does
And her,
to
she
us.
had a 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah. You could have the best show in the world, but you could still see one person that's rolling their eyes and just be like, fuck that person. It just ruins your night. Even
Yeah.
though 99% of the crowd's having a great time.
It's a horrendous thing to do to yourself to be a stand-up.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing you could do to
It
yourself.
really
Yeah.
is. R.I.P. Judy Tenuta.
Yes.
Sorry, I did not recall you. Louis Anderson.
Have you heard of him?
Yeah.
I opened for Louis multiple times.
Can you prove it?
Yes, I can.
Yeah,
Take
he's
that.
got pictures. He's got photographic evidence.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Look at
Me and Louis.
this.
Wow, look at Kyle.
Before I had I was all skinny and young 20s, but he had Life with Louis pictures, as you can see in the background. And I told him Life with Louis was like a staple of my Saturday mornings, and he gave me a signed copy of his character from Life with Louis.
Ah,
very nice guy. And he was actually the first person to tell me to come to LA. So I came out to LA to meet up with him at the Comedy Store for like a week.
So you owe everything to Louis.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
He ended his career with Baskets,
which was incredible.
And he played a character based on his mother. He played a woman, and at first glance, you're like, oh, is this just a caricature? Is this just for a joke? But it is one of the most moving portrayals of a mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they talked about, what they wanted to do with that character. And then it was either Zach Galifianakis or Louis C.K. that was like, why don't we just go with Louis Anderson? I think it was Louis C.K. actually whose idea it was.
Because he was always willing to take a chance and go for it.
And they tested it out, and it was like, yeah, this makes so much sense. And it's just him not really looking like he transitioned or anything. It's just him in a dress, basically.
It's literally him in a dress and a hat.
Him in a dress. Yeah.
I talked to him after he did that role, and he said there's a lot of love in that role, and it's a lot based on his mom. He got nominated for an Emmy.
He won.
He won the Emmy.
He
yeah,
won
right?
Best Supporting Actor.
Did he really?
Yes.
He did.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's after he did a reality show where he jumped off a diving board.
Yeah.
Oh, that was such a splash. Oh, my God. That was one of the worst shows ever.
But it was nice to see him go from that to winning an Emmy.
Yeah, because that was like the ultimate low.
Exactly.
Like, look at this fat guy jump into a pool.
Oh, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he gets into a good role, which, is controversial because he's playing a woman as a man. And in these days and times, you can't do that.
But did people really find it offensive at the time?
I think towards the end, yes.
Because I think most people accepted like this is a very
people got mad at Bryan Cranston for playing a fucking
a Power Ranger.
Yeah, he played a villain on the Power Rangers, which is why the Blue Ranger Billy Cranston is called Billy Cranston's because it's.
Okay, I didn't mean to ignite Kyle's
fandom
of Power Rangers
unraveling
again.
the entire series of Mighty Morphin Power
Really
Rangers.
didn't mean
Jesus
to.
Christ.
I know a lot about
I'm sorry I brought it up.
Yes.
Activated Kyle.
But I think a lot of people, I think it's a very small minority, but very loud people.
One person in Oklahoma on Twitter.
Get mad at men who play females.
Oh, come on.
But listen, Shakespeare.
And again, in Hairspray and Polyester, nobody would have killed that role like Divine.
Yeah.
No, it's a role for the ages. Louis Anderson was brilliant on Baskets, and that's a big loss, and no pun intended.
He was a good stand-up, too. He had some good jokes.
Yes.
Yeah.
He claimed to be the original person to... On Johnny Carson, he took the mic out of the stand, and he was like, oh, let me move this. You won't be able to see me. Because it was like the mic stand.
He
and he was such a big guy. He said he invented that.
Performing.
And he said there's so many people that stole that after him.
That's like
Let me get this out of the way.
Like Leno stole
yeah.
jaywalking from him.
No, but also Curb Your Enthusiasm. Richard Lewis is like I'm the barber from hell. I made that up from hell, calling everything the blah 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 from hell. Moving on. Sorry, Kyle. Do you have something
Rest
else?
in peace, Louis Anderson.
Rest in peace,
he
Louis
was a
Anderson.
very big part of my life and helped me out a lot, allowed me to open for him and get into shows in Vegas. Very nice guy.
And you're here now because of him.
Yes,
Yeah.
with you two schmucks.
Speaking of schmucks,
Oh, Jesus.
Or schnooks,
Or
as
schnooks.
Ray Liotta puts it.
I was
Yeah.
living like a schnook. Not a schnook, actually. Bob Saget is actually a very good guy and a very good comedian.
Yes.
He died in January of 2022 at the tender age of 65 years old. We all know him from Full House. Some people know him from America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yeah.
A lot of, and he was one of the
original.
filthiest comedians.
Yeah, besides
around.
his family image, he was a filthy guy.
Yeah, that's why it's so funny that he did the two biggest like kid shows ever, Full House and America's Funniest Home Videos.
I
And
like
then
both
you see him
of
on
them.
stage and he's talking about fingering Kimmy Gibbler.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's like, it's fucked up, right?
Here we go. This family, mother, father, and 4 kids. Doesn't matter if they're boys or girls. And they're going to be used anyway as just nothing more than a hole, is what this joke's about anyway. And the agent goes, well, what do you people do? Father's like, watch us. So they're all fucking each other, right? All of a sudden, the kid can't take it. Diarrhea starts squirting out of his ass. It's like a hemorrhaging shit ass. The kid starts spinning in a circle because he can't control it. It's kind of like Curly and the Stooges. Mo, Larry, the Cheesies. The projectile shit is just flying at him. It's going all over the room. It's like spin art. Well, you don't know whether to shit or puke in this room. That's how... What the fuck am I doing? Then, wait, there's more. You get to be a comic, more comics.
And then he
This
eventually says, he's like, please send a copy of this to the cast of Full House.
Yeah, but the big ending to that joke is, what do you call yourselves? The Aristocrats.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like the anti-joke.
Yeah. And that was actually, I think that was inspired. I think we talked about this before.
We did.
After
on the
9/11.
Brian Jones episode, I
We
believe.
did. Okay. Yeah. Because Gilbert Godfrey was like, they were sucking. They were fucking.
Yeah.
Oh, you're about to hear it.
Oh, yeah. Well, that brings us right to our last comedian not standing anymore.
Before you get to that, though, may I remind everybody that Bob Saget died under mysterious circumstances as well.
In Orlando.
True.
He hit his head after a comedy gig, supposedly, went to bed, woke up dead.
They said he hit it in his hotel room. But what came out after that was that the injury he had to his skull would only be comparable to like a 20-foot fall. I don't know if someone like decked
So
him.
someone bashed him in the head, but they don't have there wasn't blood everywhere.
No.
It was all like cranial.
I think there might have been blood because they said it looked like he
Contusion.
hit himself on like the nightstand and then he just went to bed and died.
Could it have been a Jack Nance type situation
Could've.
where he got into a scuffle?
It's
Yeah,
possible.
but he wouldn't be able to like do the mechanics of putting his card into the door of the hotel. He probably was kind of half out of it. He slammed his head in the middle of sleeping, and then he just kind of got back up into bed, and then fell asleep, and then it killed him in the middle of it.
And he was podcasting, he was touring, obviously he was in the middle of a tour.
Yeah.
And one of his last Instagram posts, okay, I love tonight's show. I'm addicted to this shit. Peace out. He loved it. He loved the game.
Yeah, of course.
R.I.P. Well, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted. No, just kidding. No,
Wow.
just
We got to
kidding.
get into the death
We-
Yeah.
in
you gotta-
entertainment.
you
do.
gotta
Yeah,
tell
that's the important part. I was saying last comic not standing anymore is Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah.
That was our. I can't believe he died this year. It really feels like it
man.
was like either 5 years ago or or
It hurt me
or
though
10 years ago. I don't know.
because I was an avid listener of his podcast.
I
the
never listened to his
Amazing
podcast.
Colossal podcast.
You said you're a huge fan of it.
I
Huge.
just remember him from Stern.
There's a
Disney
back
movies, Problem Child. Like,
Mhm.
there's so much with him.
and Hollywood Squares. He was hilarious.
Yes!
The infamous time when he kept lying and the contestants kept picking him. Or they kept agreeing with his lies.
Really?
And then he would say, "You fool!" And it went on and on the whole episode like that.
I just like this Geico commercial. That's what I was
Geico,
gonna say,
too.
yeah.
Or Affleck.
Affleck. Yeah.
He got fired because he said something controversial publicly.
About the Japanese earthquake.
Yeah.
Yes.
he was tweeting
The
earthquake
Japanese.
jokes. No,
Who knows what it was?
no, he was tweeting earthquake jokes.
What was the
Yeah.
joke? Let
Let me find it.
I'll do it in the voice of Gilbert.
I'll give you something to say in the voice of Gilbert.
What's that?
I saw him at the Comedy Cellar a few years ago when I was in New York City. He literally gets on stage, first comedian up, Gilbert Gottfried. Everyone's going crazy. He goes up and he's like, I just feel bad because I'm here because I canceled on a gig for kids with cancer. And he just kept saying kids with cancer as much as
Just
you possibly
peppering it in,
just
yeah.
saying it over and over and over for his entire set. And people were going from like absolutely dying laughing to being like, oh my God, he might have really canceled on kids with cancer
Yeah.
to it being so funny at the end.
And it's like, who cares?
It was a masterful performance to be able to see someone say something, the most awful thing you could possibly say. And it's just the roller coaster of people being like, hilarious, it's a joke. Wait, no, it's not a joke.
Yeah.
And then at the end, like, oh my God, this is fucking
That's good
incredible.
when a stand-up comic just has a killer set just with a runner of something they just keep bringing up like that.
Yes.
Yeah. And his podcast, it was a cinephile podcast.
Oh, wow.
Him and his co-host Frank Santopadre were obsessed
Of the files, that's a good file.
It
to me,
is.
a
It is.
cinephile.
Nice.
And they would have on legendary guests from Bob Saget
Yeah.
to Dick Van Dyke
Oh, wow.
to
Dick Van Dyke went on that show?
Yeah,
Wow.
a lot of classic movie stars. Even Robert Wagner did it.
Oh,
Daddy Wagner?
Yeah, it was just a really entertaining podcast, and there's a whole back catalog I encourage everybody to check out. Even on our channel, I posted a clip of Joe Pantoliano
Oh, yes.
Joey
talking
Pants.
about Charles Rocket.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
with Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah, that's
on
from the
his
podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rest in peace, man. He's a legend. The guy.
I think people that aren't comedy nerds just think he's just the voice of from Aladdin and don't really know. Like
Yeah.
he was a legendary New York area comic up until he died.
Yeah.
Japan is really advanced. They don't go to the beach. The beach comes to them.
That's what got him canceled.
Yeah, that's one of
With
the
Aflac?
tweets.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
one
my
of the tweets.
God.
It's nothing. It's
That's
stupid.
kind of like a Yakov Smirnoff joke.
Yeah.
Like in Soviet Russia,
Yeah.
beach come to you.
Yeah.
Great in Aladdin as Iago,
course.
the parrot.
Yeah.
Problem child, hilarious.
Yep.
Should we play that clip?
Rest in peace. Which one?
The one that's on the document?
Okay.
A man, a talent agent is sitting in his office.
This is it.
A family walks in. Man, woman, their 2 kids, and their little dog. Their talent agent goes, what kind of an act do you do? The father starts fucking his wife. The wife starts jerking off the son. The son starts going down on the sister. The son is licking out his father's asshole.
And this was at the Hugh Hefner roast after he made a 9/11 joke
Yeah.
that bombed.
Did you miss
Because
any
this was
portion
shortly
of
after
this?
9/11.
Oh, my God.
He said, who knew that American Airlines did a layover at the South Tower?
Oh, my God.
The aristocrats.
Yeah! Bravissimo! Gilbert!
Are there any questions?
No,
Get
there's
rid of
no
this.
What the
questions.
fuck is this?
There's no questions.
Oh, he was on Celebrity Apprentice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I watched that season.
I did too.
Those roasts were legendary.
Yeah. So
oh,
good.
my God.
Even
So
for
good.
like their cheesy Comedy Central things, but like
But
you look
they
back
went
at that and
pretty
you're like,
far.
and like that's the only thing that's fun watching comedy wise these days.
Yeah.
And our podcast.
Exactly.
Which
Which you can find on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram. Death and
Anywhere
Entertainment.
you get your podcast.
Oh,
Yes.
we did want to, since we're at the end of the year, we had another great year. We built up another bunch of fans that comment and send us messages and email us and are just great people. And Deados, we'd call them.
Yes.
We just wanted to call them out. A couple
Yes.
specific VIP list of Deados here.
Yes.
So the first one is Sabrina, which we did already mention.
Sabrina Figueroa, thank you so much
Yes.
for everything you've done. You've given us fan art. You've given us ideas. You've given us content behind the scenes. We love you.
Yeah. Great art. Check out Sabrina Figueroa. She does some great art on Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah. Samantha, one of our early diehards, from the beginning.
Ohio's own.
Mm-hmm.
Samantha Preston Morris. Thank you so much.
To this day.
To this day.
Samantha always has something nice. She follows us on Twitter, Instagram, and wherever we are.
Yes.
But she always has great things to say, and she's always promoting us. So thank you, Samantha.
We made
love ya.
fun of Ohio.
Yeah.
And that's what made her love us more.
The worse we get, the more she likes us.
Yes.
And this newer guy, he gave us a very nice comment on iTunes.
Yeah.
Shaolin D-Boy.
Yeah.
Shaolin D-Boy. Thank you so much, sir. He's on our Instagram a lot, too.
He's all over the place.
He's all over the place, this guy.
He's a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This other person, I don't know who this is. Gidge Henderson.
Gidge.
Yeah.
Gidge always shows up for us.
Take him to the Gidge.
That's such a great first name.
It is.
Yeah. Always on YouTube, sometimes, backing us up when some conspiracy theory, nuts are going at us.
Yeah.
So thank you, Gidge Henderson. Checker222.
Love ya.
Love you. Always on YouTube with nice
Yes.
things. Right when we drop the episode, not only do they say great job, they have specific things deep into the podcast.
Very deep. Yeah.
into to let us-
Checker was doing a binge of us,
Yeah.
and Checker suggested, hey, you guys should do video.
And
Yeah.
here we are.
And
Guess
here we
what,
are.
Checker?
Checker, this is for you.
So if you want someone to blame for seeing our mugs,
Look in the mirror.
it's Checker.
Yeah. Afzal Sheikh.
Yes.
Also known as AFZ933.
He's had some experience in the business.
Has he?
Auditions and certain things.
Oh, really? Okay.
Certain movies we've talked about he's been connected to.
Paul Schrader, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Me and him were watching the TV show The Watcher at in real time, and we're just caught. It's like a chat board for The Watcher at some point. Our Instagram. Is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a fan of Maps to the Stars, the Cronenberg
Yes,
movie,
that's right.
which I have since watched, and it's brilliant.
It's brilliant.
Ooh,
Kyle,
nice.
check it out. It's weirdly on Hulu. It doesn't seem like it matches Hulu's style.
Zoe Barta, Tim Loss, always hilarious with comments. Tiger Lily.
Z Barta from Fond du Lac. You neglected to mention
Fond du
that.
Lac, Wisconsin.
My hometown.
Yes. It's Alejandro's cousin.
It's not, but that's okay.
Could be.
Tiger Lily always has so many insightful things to say. Anna Wilder, same thing.
And Tiger Lily's hilarious.
Yes. Carly Newber.
Anna Wilder, let's not brush over her.
Yes.
She writes a lot of quality comments, theories, and
Absolutely does.
reactions.
Yes. Mercedes Cortez, same thing. And yeah, that's everybody.
And Carly remembers the one that is responsible for the Bronx Tale episode.
Yes.
Yes.
So thank you, Lilo
Thank you.
Broncato.
So all of you listeners, we got, Amy in Wisconsin, Paul in Minnesota, anyone else?
Auntie Jill, my mom, a lot of people listening back home in
Shout
Boston.
out to some Framium heads, Trevor Black, Matt Sullivan,
Yes.
my old buddy, and
McGloogie.
Mac Loogie, of course. Yeah,
Yes.
great comedian in the LA area, and
Katie, we love you.
Katie, we love you. Katie, the redhead, we love you.
Yes. Katie, hello. How you doing?
Who else am I? Thinking?
My brother Brian.
Yes.
Yeah, shout out to Brian. My buddy Ian, shout out to you.
Ben in the Bay Area.
Yes.
Ben.
One of our biggest fans.
Oh, okay.
Ashley Frank, we appreciate you. Sarah Jones, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
That's Florida to Michigan right there. We get a lot of people everywhere.
My friend Rose Crane, she's always shouting out.
Hong Kong, Slovakia,
Right.
Italy.
What a year. We went from Slovakia
Yeah.
to Italy to Hong Kong.
Yep.
Alex Sulkin, our first and only guest so far.
Thank you, Alex Sulkin.
Yeah, and
Shout
he's
out.
said he was a fan.
Yes, we got a fan.
When he's not listening to his own podcast,
Yeah.
he's listening to ours.
Yeah.
Which is good to know.
But we appreciate you all. We love you all. We're coming back for another full year, and we got some surprises for you next year.
Oh, yeah, we sure do.
And you all are helping us grow. We are growing.
Yes.
Yes.
And we feel your energy, your love, and we love all of you.
We got some merch coming out in the new year, so we might do a program.
Yes,
check
can you see
that
that?
out. Some more stuff
What's
like
up?
that. Yeah.
Death and Entertainment sweatshirt. Who
Yeah,
wants one?
with our emblem
Leave it in the comments.
Made by the great Paloma, and we're gonna be making
Right. Paloma
Paloma
designed our
Childs. We
logo.
love Paloma Childs.
Yeah.
Kaylina McCarty made some custom merch for us as well.
Yeah, I forgot my shirt today, but
Shouts out to them.
yeah, very talented people, and
Yes.
but yeah, keep an eye out for Die. We're gonna be coming back with a vengeance in the new year. Just an FYI.
Back with a vengeance.
And, this list, it's like you look at it, so many great people gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on a personal level, I just want to say I love you, Aunt Anne, and I will always be thinking of you.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Until next year. Don't go dying on us.